Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's a casual smiley gamer here, and today we're gonna look at one of the most exciting decks that have been played on the World Championship of the Magic the Gathering. It's gonna be the white aggro played by the player named Ray Sato. So, what's exciting about this deck? It's a tempo-wide deck basically designed to speed your opponent and abuse a lot of aggro power on the deck, just bombard battlefield with loads of tiny creatures which are going to be boosted by Interpret Adversary or any other sources to gain as much 1/1 counters on them as possible and just to raise the opponent to death. So let's have a look at the deck, shall we? So what do we have here is we have a Stonebiter's Familiar. So basically it's a creature that gets 1/1 counter every time something is getting exiled. So we have plenty of ways to exile cards in this deck. One of them would be the Sun Gold Sentinel. Well, basically whenever the Sentinel enters the battlefield or attacks, we exile the card from the opponent's graveyard. So the way it works, say there has been something casted by an opponent, you enter the battlefield, immediately exile the card, the Familiar gets +1/+1. Another way to do the exile would be to use the Elite Spellbinder. So whenever he enters the battlefield, you know that thing when the card that he chooses gets put aside and it costs 2 more mana to cast, the card is actually going into the exile. So once he enters the battlefield, again, Familiar is getting +1/+1 counter. Now, on top of that, we're running Interpret Adversary. Basically, for an additional 2 mana, all of the creatures are getting +1/+1 counters, and that can be done multiple times. On top of that, it's only a 2 mana creature with a 3/1 lifelink, which is a very good utility and a very good attack, toughness, and just plenty of ways to utilize this card for a very, very cheap cost. Luminarch Aspirant gives us +1/+1 counter every turn. Again, amazing. Usher gets us human tokens for 2 mana as many times as we can. We do not have to tap them, we just pay 2 mana, it creates the token. We have Portable Hole as a removal for a cheap permanence. We have a Fateful Absence for removal of expensive ones. And in terms of removal, that's it. We are also running the Maul of the Skyclaves. It's an amazing bang for buck. Basically, you're getting 2/2 for 3 mana, which and it gives the first strike and a flying. So it's again a quite cheap way to boost the toughness and the offense of your creature. We have the Adeline. Basically, it has a vigilance, 3 mana, attack equals to the number of creatures in the party. Every time she attacks, we create an attacking token, and we can again repeat it as many times as we want. The last one with the Redain can be casted as an artifact or as a creature. If casted as an artifact, whenever any source would deal any damage to our creatures, would prevent 1 damage of that source, which is quite good against the board sweep. In addition to that, we can cast her as a legendary creature god, which will basically make all of the expensive spells cost 2 more mana. Also, it would slow down the opponent if they are playing the Snowlands. On top of that, we're playing 1 Cave of the Frost Dragon and 4 Faceless Havens just for additional utility and aggro power. Okay, so let's start over and have a look what happens. Okay, so we're playing against Loviatar by Noriyuki Mori. So we have 3 lands, we have 2 Ushers, we have a Spellbinder, and we have the Maul of the Skyclaves. Quite a decent hand. Let's start. So we'll enter with the Usher. Remember, Usher can boast for 2 mana. You can create an additional token. Hello. And let's see what colors the opponent plays. Blue. Okay. So in this case, I would probably play... I'd probably play Sun God Sentinel just because she has so much power. It's 3/2 unless the opponent has... No, opponent doesn't have any counters, so let's attack. Normally, we want to play that when you have your dog because you can exile something off the graveyard and get the dog an additional 1/1 counter. Opponent plays a Sentinel. So in this specific scenario, I would probably... We have a few choices here. We can try and attach the Mole of the Skyclaves to the Sun Gold Sentinel and swing potentially for 5 or even 7 if the opponent doesn't block the Usher. Or we can try and play the Elite Spellbinder, see if the opponent has any removal. I suppose that's going to be a safer choice. Let's play an Elite Spellbinder, see what the opponent has in the hands, just for protection. So opponent can play a variety. Okay, opponent plays a blue-white deck. So the most dangerous thing for us at this stage would be either the Spellbinder or the Cathar. Well, Cathar will exile one of our creatures up until Cathar leaves the battlefield, so I suppose we'd have to remove him. If we leave Elite Spellbinder to the opponent, he's probably going to remove the Mole of the Skyclaves, which means that we cannot swing for that much, so I'd probably go for the Cathar. And I suppose we'll swing for 5 and see if the opponent defends. We cannot allow Aspirant to grow. Opponent doesn't defend. Okay. Opponent's going to play a Spellbinder now, unless he drew something better. And he's going to remove the Mole. Yep. Yep. Very, very expected. Now everything will depend on what we're going to draw. If it's going to be a land, we can play Adeline and the Usher. No, we draw the Adeline. Fine. I would most likely attack with Sentinel and the Elite Spellbinder for now. Let's see what the opponent does and how he blocks. Okay, so they only block a token. Fine. Okay, so 27. I'm wondering if the opponent has any life gain apart from the lifelink. Okay, fine. Yes, obviously he's gonna boost everyone. We need to make sure that we block the adversary. Okay, he swings. Okay. Let's think what we have here. I suppose we could do the following. We could block with the Sentinel to block off the adversary. Sentinel has an ability for 2 mana to get a protection of a certain color. This time it's going to be white. Now, for the remainder of the 2 mana, we have a few choices. We can either call another Usher, or we can boast. I believe we're calling another Usher. Or and we are attacking with the Spellbinder, Usher, and Adeline. If opponent blocks 2 creatures now, if we just swing for 3, opponent's down to 4. If we attack with both of these, he's gonna block something either with the Aspirant or the adversary. And the worst thing would be to attack with, or we can attack with the Sentinel as well. Sentinel is gonna get blocked off. I think the correct way of acting would be to attack with the Spellbinder and Adeline. In addition to that, we are also attacking with the token. Okay, so he is sacrificing the adversary. Fine. Okay, he's up to 9, and this time we can play another Adeline. I don't think he has any removal. Okay, so now we have 5 creatures against his 2. We can also activate Faceless Haven next turn to keep the pressure up. He's gonna boost everyone again, obviously. Okay, so he can block off 3 creatures. Okay, so we can try and do the following. He can block 3 creatures max. Let's assume he's blocking the ones with the highest power. Then we will... How do we act in this specific scenario? If we attack with a Faceless Haven, with the Cathar and the Elite Spellbinder, he's going to block these 4, and we're going to swing for 7. He's going to gain 5 life back. He's going to be up to 7. And then at the same time, he's going to lose quite a lot of creatures, so maybe that's the way to go. I think probably that's the better way to go, actually. I'll attack with all. See what the opponent does. He's up to 6 life, but he only has... Well, he has nothing left. So next turn we can... Okay. He exiles a creature, smart. So we can play the Aspirant. And attack with all 3. He must block at least one of them. Otherwise he's going to lose the game. He scoops. Okay, now we're playing against Yuta Takashi, Angel Elves. We have 3 white mana open, we have Luminorc, we have 2 Sentinels as an early pressure, and an Elite Spellbinder. Pretty good hand, I'm happy. And let's see what happens. So, Angel Elves goes first. Let's say hello. No response to us. Fine. It looks like the opponent probably didn't join the game as of yet, given that our... Oh, it's my turn actually. Okay, my bad. My bad. Okay, so let's see what colors does the opponent play. Red. Potentially we have the... Let's play the Sentinel. Just a very strong early pressure 3-2. Wondering if the opponent has a shock or anything to remove the Sentinel. Next turn we're going to play the Spellbinder and we're going to see the hand. So let's see if the opponent has removal in the hand. Okay, Mr. Angel, what's going to be your response? Opponent's playing EZ. Dragon's Fire. Okay. Let's play the Spellbinder and see what you have. Okay, I was right. So the opponent is running the classic EZ deck. So... Okay, so that's not a threat at this specific point, same as the Gold Spawn, same as the Epiphany. The most annoying would be the Expressive Iteration, so I'd probably remove that for now. And leave opponent nothing to cast. If opponent didn't draw anything, he's going to play a land and he's going to foretell the Alvarin's Epiphany. He's going to do nothing. Okay, that works as well. So I'm going to play the Aspirant. Unless the opponent has the counter spell. He might have Jwari. Okay, so he drew a counter spell. Fine. Okay, let's swing for 3. Let's keep pressurizing the opponent. Okay, so if he's gonna play land now, potentially he might play Expressive Iteration. Okay, he's playing the Smoldering Egg. Fine, that's fine with me. He doesn't have much to cast, so he's foretelling the Epiphany, which is fine with me. So at this stage, I'm probably going to play the Adeline, just so that would be creating those 1/1 tokens when we're attacking. And growing the Adeline as well. He's going to block the token, we're going to swing for 3. Pressure is on. Next turn, we're going to remove the Smoldering Egg with a portable hole. Unless he removes one of our creatures. Okay, he's going for expressive iterations. He's probably going to play a land, and I don't think he has any counters to play with 1 mana. He might have Fade, which would be quite unfortunate. But he doesn't have an open blue mana, so we are safe. Fine, so we have a few choices here. We can play the adversary and give everyone 1/1 counter. He is approaching 7 or more counters. We have a few choices that we can make now. I suppose adversary might be a better choice on the next turn. Next turn he's gonna play the dragon. If we swing now, we will attack for 2 plus we'll attack for 5. Potentially, if we destroy the creature, we are gonna be 1 creature up. And we are gonna swing for 7. I think that's a better choice. So we're playing the portable hole. And we are removing the smoldering egg. We are then playing the sentinel. We are removing, it doesn't matter, he doesn't play flashback, so it's okay. And we're gonna swing with all of them. He's down to 4. If he doesn't have a board sweep, then he is doomed. I think the opponent's probably gonna scoop now. He's down to 1 life. He's playing Olrin's Epiphany. Okay, fine. It's probably gonna give him some protection, but not much. He's playing a Goldspawn Dragon. He has 1 mana open. He has 3 defenders, and he is up to 1 life. He's attacking. He only has 2 defenders. I think he's gonna scoop after this attack, unless he has a direct damage removal, which he's gonna play by removing one of the treasures and playing the whole of the Storm Giants. So in combo, he has 3 mana, he can play removal. If he has a sweep, that would be rather unfortunate, but still winnable because we can play Faceless Haven next turn. Okay, so he's playing the Prismari. I still don't know how he's going to defend because we are up to 4 creatures. I think he's probably going to scoop now. Okay, he still has 1 mana. So we have a few choices here. We can either, I think he might have another Prismari, but to be perfectly honest, I don't think that does matter. We can activate Faceless Haven and attack with 5. I think that probably is the best choice in this scenario. So let's attack with all, and I think that's a GG. Here we go. GG. Okay, we're playing against Sam Pardy. Opponent named Monster. Okay, so we have to open mana, potentially enough for casting the adversary. And we also have Maul and 2 Elite Spellbinders. A bit risky to play with 2 lands, but let's give it a try. Opponent goes first. This time I read it properly. Let's keep 7. Okay, opponent's going to play mono green. Let's play Familiar first. Let's see what's incoming. Ranger class. Very expected. So we can do a few things here. We can play the adversary. We can play Luminarch, or we can play Faithful Absence. He's going to have larger creatures, so I'd maybe hold off with the Faithful Absence for now. I'd rather play the Luminarch and boost the Familiar first. We are going to attack just to keep a pressure on the opponent. Opponent doesn't defend. He's down to 18 life. The selling point of our mono white deck is the tempo. We are dealing a lot of damage very, very fast, and I think we always need to keep a pressure on. Okay, opponent is playing the Blizzard Brawl. He destroyed the Familiar. He's going to swing for 3 now. We're going to be down to 17 life. Okay, he removed both of our creatures. Fine. Okay, not ideal, but not that bad either. So let's play the adversary. I don't think he'll have many Blizzard Brawls now, but he has a life link, so if he attacks us again, we can restore all the life that we've just lost in defending against the wolf. He's probably gonna increase the level on the ranger class, which will give 1/1 to the wolf. The wolf is gonna become 3/3. We can defend and we can regain the life back, which is a pretty good trade-off. Unless the opponent calls in a bigger creature, in that case we'll use the Faithful Absence to destroy the creature. Let's see what the opponent actually does. Opponent's thinking. Yep, opponent does put 1/1 on the attacking wolf. He is willing to trade. I don't think opponent's going to have another Blizzard Brawl. It's going to be a third one, which would be rather unfortunate. Yep, and I'm willing to trade on this one. Okay, and that's a turn. Right, now it's a time to play the Aspirant. Opponent... Okay, maybe I should actually play the Portable Hole just to destroy the Ranger class. If the opponent doesn't play another additional mana this turn, I can use the Portable Hole on the Ranger class, potentially, or destroy the... Yeah, I think maybe the better choice would be to destroy the Mammoth. Mammoth can grow a lot with the introduction of lands. Oh, in fact, I can do both. Good. In fact, I have many choices here. I can play the Spellbinder as well, but I think the best way of action would be to destroy a creature and to destroy a Ranger class as well, and attack with the Aspirant for 3, in fact, because he's going to get 1/1. He's down to 15 next turn. We can either play the Mole or the Elite Spellbinder. I'd rather play Elite Spellbinder just to see what he has in the hand. Okay, opponent plays the Wolf. Primal Entry. Target lands become 3/3. Okay, so that's as dangerous as he gets. Potentially we can swing for 5 if we attach a Mole onto the Aspirant. I do not think that he will have another Blizzard Brawl for now, and I think that would be a very good idea to keep the pressure on the opponent. So I think the Mole is a very good solution here. We're going to swing for 6. He cannot defend because he doesn't have a reach. Okay, so let's see what the opponent actually does. Does he have enough removal in the hand? Blizzard Brawl is not going to save him now unless he finds a way to put a 1/1 counter on the primal adversary. So, not sure what he's going to do. He might have... Okay, he's drawing a card, so he's out of options. Let's see what he will have as an answer. Okay, Werewolf Pack Leader. I think he's going to attack now. He's going to swing for 4. He doesn't have any lands, so the Luminarch is safe. Few choices here. We can remove the Pack Leader by attacking with the... Oh, actually, no. Can we? No, it's not a snow land. It's just a land. So we cannot activate Faceless Haven anyway. So I think the best choice would be to call another flyer and to see what he has in his hand and swing for 7. Right, okay. So opponent has Renin 7. Opponent has put 2 1/1 counters on target creature. It's not gonna save him now, because if he's going to put it on his wolf, the wolf is going to have an attack power of 6. If he's going to then make me fight the target creature I don't control, then he's going to lose, because the Luminar is going to be 7/7. Renin 7 is the worst, because the tree folks that he creates, they all have reach and they can defend against my elite spellbinders. He's still going to gain 6 life, which is going to save him 1 more turn. So I think the best choice would be to remove Renin 7. We're gonna swing for 7 now. It's gonna cost 7 mana. He has 5 mana, so he cannot play Ren in 7 now. Only thing he can do is to play the kicked version of the Inscription of Abundance. This is gonna win him 6 life. It's not gonna save him though, because next turn I'm gonna swing for 11. And I think that's gonna be GG. Okay, opponent's out of choices here. He has 6 lands, he cannot play Ren in 7. He's gonna win 6 life, he is gonna make him 6/5. He can kill off Elite Spellbinder though. And I'm still gonna swing for 8 with the Luminarch, because he's gonna get 8/8, so he is lost. I think it's GG. I think he's probably gonna scoop now if he sees it. If he doesn't, then the next turn is lethal. Your go. He's probably thinking that, Jesus, I'm that 1 mana out, honestly. That's it. GG.